Greetings and welcome back. To becoming a published author is fun, and if that title confuses you a little bit, then go back to episode 8, and you will learn why it is fun. Now we're in episode 11, and we're looking at shoes, which you will understand by and by. Why do I post? The simple answer is right here. You. That is why I do posts. That is why I do a vlog and a blog. Why I do any kind of information where I'm putting stuff out there for you. It's all because of you, and it's based on my own walk. For years, decades, I went to the school of hard knocks. I've told you about that. Or if you're new to me, I'm sure I'll mention it again. But years and decades there, learning how to write, and I was learning the wrong things. Sometimes I was learning the right things, but I was learning the wrong things because while I started out with a course, I didn't get very far into that, and I was laid off at work, and I had to drop out, and I never got back into it. So now I am left trying to figure things out as I go forward. And eventually, when I got saved in 1973, God got involved in my life. Well, He had a lot of things that changed in my life before He could spend some time on this, before I was ready to receive what He had for me. Because in 2000, the year 2000, God called me to be a writer. But I wasn't ready until then for that call. Once I was ready, He called me, and now things have changed completely in my life. But back then, I was walking, and I was doing a walk in my shoes. And so that's why I call this shoes. What I want you to do is to learn from me, not go through what I went through, not do the walk. I want this walk to be instructive for you, to benefit you, so that you don't have to go through it yourself. Because back then I had some bad views about writing. I wanted to write, I had a desire to write, but to me it was frustrating. I would get 3 or 4 or 5 chapters in of a book, and then it would just come to a complete stop. I was hitting the wall. I didn't even know it was called a wall, mind you, but I was hitting it. And the result was that it would end up in the trash can. So I was frustrated. I looked at it as hard work. I wasn't getting any fun out of it. It wasn't the joy that I imagined it would be. It was very hard work. And whatever joy came, it was hard to come by. It was unrewarding to me. And that means I was not published. And I wasn't getting any sales. But it means more than that. It also means that I wasn't getting any personal satisfaction out of it. I wasn't feeling it. It was all this hard work. And all 3 of these were working together in my life. And like I said, I got saved in 73. 30 years later, when I was 60 years old, that's when God called me. That's 30 years in which I was in need of information, which was hard to come by. I needed encouragement. Now, I needed to be encouraged. My wife, I married her actually after I got saved. So during that 30-year period, I married her. And so I was 38 when I got married. So that was 8 years after I got saved. I married her. And she was a constant encouragement to me. And she had a secret desire to write herself, which I didn't learn about until we founded the company, T&R Independent Books, in 2014. Well, when I discovered that made all the difference in the world. Now we were both writers. Now we could both go push forward. And she ended up publishing her first book, I believe it was 2019 or 20, and in 22 republished that first book, which is a novel. We even retitled it. And then she wrote and got published. We published them ourselves. 3 ladies' devotionals, and she was working on a 4th one prior to her death. So that was, she learned fast. So once she had that out there, I became her fan. I became a supporter of her. We were supporting one another. And so we encouraged one another, which is always a good thing, by the way. So God was encouraging me. God called me when I was 60. And then he gave me also, once he called me, he started giving me some direction. Now, he may have been giving me direction beforehand, but now in relationship to the call, that I was more receptive to it. And doors were opening that I didn't even, in some cases, didn't even know they were there. That's how I got into CACS, Christian Authors Community and Services. That's a story in itself. And I started learning. I started meeting different people, different Christians who were authors. I started getting feedback from other people and other sources. I began finding the right sources. And so I was getting good direction. And then I was getting wisdom, God's wisdom. But I was also getting God's wisdom not only directly from him, but also he would give wisdom to other people who would then pass that wisdom on to me. And so I was gaining their insights, their wisdom, and growing both as a Christian and as a writer. And so when I ask you to pay attention to my walk, that is simply because my walk has been one in which I went from the School of Hard Knocks all the way up to where I am today. Now I'm not only an author, I'm a publisher. Not only am I an author and publisher, but I'm a teacher. Not only am I an author, publisher, teacher, I'm a coach. And I have all these different hats, and I have other hats as well. Now I'm a marketing genius. Not really, but I have all these different hats. And you can have those hats too. The idea is to listen to what somebody else who has been down that road can share with you. The insights that I can share with you, the wisdom that I have gained, I can pass on to you. I have a coach now who I listen to. He is a coach that has been down the road. He's written books, and I think he just had, not too long ago, just had a book he wrote. It's on artificial intelligence. And that's one that he will have to update every once in a while because artificial intelligence is constantly changing. I talk about artificial intelligence in the course, and I will have to constantly upgrade it for that very same reason. So you need a coach. That is one of the things that I do. And so I recommend people follow those steps. Learn from my experience. And what does it cost you? It costs you some time to sit down and watch a video that is less than 20 minutes long. And so that is something that is inexpensive for you, but you can gain some valuable information. I was once told that if you go to a meeting and you get one piece of information out of that meeting, just one piece of information that you can use out of that meeting, then that meeting has been a success. Well, if you come to my videos and watch, even though the information may be something you already know, if you pick up one insight out of that, then it's been a profitable visit on your part, or a profitable video that you have watched. And you never know when you go to unless you've been following me for a while, you don't know what kind of information I have out there for you. I try to give you some good, solid information that you can use, not in the future, although it can be used in the future, but information that you can use now. And it's all free. I don't charge you 1 cent for this. In fact, it's fun doing it. I'm having fun doing these posts, believe it or not. And that is one of the fun things that I get to do, is to be able to share what I know with people like you. And that is today's episode. Get out there and look at this, take notes, and try to learn something new from every video you watch and apply it. That's the key. Not only learning it, but applying it. I'll talk to you, or rather, I will see you in the next episode.